Welcome to Ladies Talk Show. This is your host, Leah Richheimer. We are on harmony. Harmony. I know we've been giving you a lot of tips and techniques and whatever to get back to harmony. That's because it's so important. And I'm going to go right now. We're going to finish chapter 11 today. Yoo-hoo! So I'm going to read, instead of like reading, I usually read 4 or 5 minutes. It's going to be 6 or 7 because I just want to finish the chapter so that you guys have a lot of tools and techniques to go through. Okay, ready? We are on Marriage Secrets, page 286. We're talking about forgiving ourselves. Okay, and this is really crucial. Not so easy, but crucial. Okay. Number 4, forgiving ourselves. Perhaps the person we bear the most powerful resentment against is ourselves. Having to live with the awful consequences of our own mistakes or poor decisions can make us angrier than almost anything. We wonder how we could have been so foolish, why we didn't seize an opportunity that was right in front of us, or how we could possibly have let ourselves get duped by someone else. We wish we could turn back the clock as regret seems to fill us to the brim. Consequently, we can beat ourselves up until there's almost nothing left of us. There's only one solution to this. As we learn to forgive our husbands and others more, that developing muscle must be simultaneously turned back upon ourselves on a daily basis. We must learn to turn down the heat on the anger we have with ourselves. No one deserves to be treated the way we often treat ourselves. Number 5. Give up your urge to second guess yourself. After you forgive, make it be truly complete. Don't ruminate about it. And don't backtrack if the issue is brought up in the future. Put all of the facts in the case into the shredding bin, including all the challenging emotions you may have had about it, and move on. Don't let it creep back into your thinking. Sometimes we can regret forgiving someone, but that doesn't mean it wasn't the right thing to do. It just means our forgiveness muscle needs strengthening by forgiving more. You have just done something extraordinary. Savor the glory without looking back over your shoulder. Ideas for planning ahead. Make a What's Bothering Me journal. List the lumps under the rugs in your marriage. A lump is any hurt or unresolved conflict that carries emotional pain or anger. Some may be a big source of ongoing pain, and some will be isolated incidents that you never took the time or effort to resolve. Try to keep the list rather short so as not to dredge up every item and risk making you totally upset for long forgotten hurts. But try to be thorough, including issues that you know are still sore spots affecting your daily life. Do not share this list with your husband. This is for your own personal use to get to harmony in your marriage. Number 2, cross out as many as possible. Some issues are so old that they are truly only sitting under your rug because of inertia. They no longer have the emotional sting they once did, and they just sit there causing distance in your marriage for no good reason. Right now, make a conscious choice to simply let these issues go. You won't even need to process many of these ancient grudges or have big, heavy-duty conversations about them. Just cross them off your list, making the commitment to yourself to never bring them up again. This is a great gift you will be giving to yourself in terms of making you feel lighter and less bogged down in your life. Number 3, prioritize the remaining issues in order of how impactful they are in your life. Problems that affect your daily life, like a family member who loses his temper all the time, or someone who constantly criticizes you, would be numbered high on your list. Lower numbered issues would be something like your husband's tardiness made you late to an appointment a month ago. While it's upsetting, it doesn't affect your daily life, but you can't let go of it either. Number your list in this way to help you to understand your own list and to make it feel more like a manageable list. Quantifying the lumps does worlds to make us realize there is not an endless list of offensive that our husband has done. It is a finite number, and many things aren't even that terrible. Seeing that your list is more of a hill to get over rather than a giant mountain helps us to realize that it truly is possible to achieve a clean slate in our marriage. One of my students reported that after she made her list, one of the items that had bothered her for years looked so pathetic and silly when she actually wrote it down that she really had a good laugh to herself about it. She found it so funny that she almost shared it with her husband, but realized that if there was a chance it might hurt him, it wasn't worth it. She crossed the item off her list and said, realizing how petty she had been, helped her to not get so upset about other things in their marriage as well. This process can be very strengthening. Number 4, choose one issue to work on at a time. Start with a smaller one, preferably, so you can have the satisfaction of crossing off your list. If you start with the heavy-duty problems, they take much more skill and energy to work through, and you may feel frustrated starting there. Brainstorm the best way to handle each item. Is it something you can just let go of for the sake of shalom without making a whole federal case out of it? Would a simple unsent letter to your husband explaining your desire to resolve it help you to clarify your thinking? Would a discussion handled with determination not to yell or get upset prove fruitful? Or is there too much emotional charge on it such that the conversation won't go well? If so, what steps do you need to take to get over some of your anger in order to discuss it in a calmer manner? Brainstorming ways to handle an issue with a trusted confidant, mentor, or trained professional might be the best way to ensure that your attempts to solve the anger problem don't make matters worse. Number 5, lump cleaning conversation should be done when you have set aside ample time for the conversation, when you are determined not to put your husband on the defensive, when you both have had a good meal and, if possible, rested, and with your husband's full permission to bring up unpleasant subjects for the intent of clearing the air and getting closer to each other. You should not attempt to clean more than one lump per conversation, or it will feel like you are lashing out at your husband. Talk slowly, never raise your voice, and if the conversation gets heated, just keep repeating your goal of trying to solve things harmoniously. Go through each of your items on your list one at a time over the course of time. I would not tell him about the list, or he might feel like you are ganging up on him rather than trying to get closer to him. Making a list of what you're angry about just comes across badly unless you are doing it as part of a deep exercise to cleanse your brain of grudges. Keep working on each item, and in a matter of months, you will have a clean slate in your marriage. Now the plan is to keep it clean. Number 6, harmony maintenance. Keeping a clean slate takes ongoing dedication, but you will find that once you have cleaned the slate to start with, it is much easier to recognize when a new issue is swept under the rug. It stands out much more, which gives you much better chance of taking care of it right away before resentments build. Just tackle one issue at a time as it crops up. You will also find that through trial and error, you will develop routines that work in dealing with challenging situations. This work of getting to harmony in our marriage is very exciting. It's not glamorous or fun, but it produces serenity. Hopefully, these tools individually and collectively will help us to get on the right road for ridding ourselves of lumps under the rug, as well as to help us grow in our forgiveness skills. Rabbi Shlomo Volbe teaches us that shalom bayis does not mean absence of differences. Shalom bayis means the differences are evident, but we have succeeded in bridging them. Working on these issues means that we are well on our way to getting to harmony and staying there. Most importantly, daven to God to give you the strength and insight to forgive well and often. Okay, guys, what's our status here? Let's go.
Okay, we got a lot of questions on this topic. It seems like a really hot topic. Okay, here we go. So Bracha's asking, I find that when I journal, it makes me regurgitate all the hurts, and perhaps I'm better off just forgetting about it. Is this bottling up, though?
It's a good question. Look, here's the issue. If you don't, they're sort of sitting there in your head floating. You know what I mean? I get it that you don't want to regurgitate. This is a process. So if you are writing the journal down to make a case against your husband and why he's no good and blah, 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 that's bad. That's one issue. If you're doing it with the sole intent and determination to get closer to your husband because of it, to bond with him, to learn, to forgive him. If you're doing that, and maybe at the top of each journal page, this is to get closer. This is to get closer. So as you're writing everything down, that stays focused in your mind. Make it in big red pen. This is to get closer. Hopefully, if you keep in your heart and mind the entire time you're doing it what the purpose of it is, it will help you get over it. Because from my understanding, walking so many people through this process without sort of recognizing what they've been carrying, like you're carrying the stuff, and without recognizing it, then the only time that resentment or anger comes up is when he does it again, or when something else happens similar or whatever, and then it all flares. So that stuff is there. The only way to get it out is by looking at it square in the eye and then crossing one's out, or if you have to discuss it to cross it out. And then guess what? All of those resentments, even as unpleasant as the process might be, they'll be behind you. And it's such a gewaldic, gorgeous feeling to have nothing between you and your husband. It's funny. I was just giving a lecture, and I said, "How many people? If you're all men, how many of your husbands? If I were to ask them, is your wife upset about you? Upset at you? If I ask your husband, is your wife upset at you about something? How many of your husbands would raise their hand?" And everyone's looking down like, yeah, I guess it's true. The husband never has the satisfaction of making his wife happy. And it's the most important thing. It's what he wants more than anything in the world, is to have you be happy with him. And the wife never gives him that satisfaction. And part of it is all these resentments. So once you purge them out of your relationship, there's just this closeness and this lack of, I can't be close to them because he did this. You get those taken care of. There's a free flow of closeness, and that's the purpose of it. And if you write that at the top of your journal as you're doing this, hopefully it'll sink into your head and into your heart and into your neshama, into your soul, that the purpose of this is for closeness. Great question. Okay, good. What else you got?
I love the idea of the mantra on the top of the journal.
Yeah. Okay, post it. Yeah. Do it in big red letters. Okay,
so Galia's asking, I really worked on myself and have come to a place where over time I really forgive everything my husband does that bothers me. I thought my husband would automatically do those things less because I don't bother him about it anymore, but he's doing those things more and more. Help.
Wow. This is where communication comes in. Blah, blah, blah. I think, first of all, you need to reward yourself for the gewaldic work that you did, meaning it's awesome what you did, what you're able to accomplish in terms of being able to let go of stuff. That's great. But some of the things I think need to be communicated. So now you have the unique, gorgeous, gorgeous opportunity of a lifetime, which is to plan ahead how you're going to have the conversation. It's really a luxury, because most conversations, it's in the heat of the moment, whatever, and it blows up. But you're in a position now, because you're sort of observing this, and you have self-mastery over what you've been doing, but it's not going well holistically. It's like, little pockets of triumph on your part, but it's not changing his he keeps doing it. So you're in a beautiful, beautiful position to get out a journal or a notes or something where you can say, okay, what's the best way to talk to my husband? Let's say, as an example, your husband, you used to bug him about, he always leaves his dishes on the counter, on the dining table. He doesn't bust his dishes. Let's say, I'm just saying, again, it's a dumb example, but it's real, right? So he doesn't do it, and you kept talking to him, and then you're like, you know what? He's so busy in his work, and he's so busy at home, and he tries to play with the kids and whatever. Do I really care that he doesn't bust his trays? And I'm going to forgive. So every day you're forgiving, and now he's leaving more things on the thing. Okay, so this is where you take out your journal, or you really have to do some introspection, some thoughtful thinking, or you even can talk to a rebbitzin or somebody who will keep everything confidential and private. And you say, what can I say to my husband that will help? Will get through to him. Maybe I'll tell him it makes me feel like I'm his, housekeeper, because he doesn't help. No, that'll backfire. He'll get defensive. Okay, I'm not going to say that. What if I say that it makes me feel like he's not my full partner? No, that'll make him mad, because he'll say, are you kidding? I work all day. I work, it's 80 hours a week to pay for this mortgage. Are you kidding? I'm a full partner. That won't work. Should I just tell him that, if every time he puts it in the sink, he gets $5 of mad money? I know he likes to buy those, the cartoon books for kids, or whatever. He likes to read those. I don't know, whatever, and he always feels guilty spending the money. But if every time he puts a dish in, he gets $5, Now he'll think that's dumb. So you're brainstorming with yourself, like what would be effective with him. And after you write down 10 things and 20 things, whatever, you'll come to a stupid thing that'll actually work. Maybe it's like, oh, if I tell him that, he loved that game when he was a kid. What's that thing? Lava. What is it? Lava. What's that game? You know what I'm talking about? The lava game? Don't step up. You never played lava? Come on. How did you grow up? You look like an adult. I don't know. No, where you have to stay on the couch and then you go from the couch to the chair.
Oh, hot lava?
Yeah, hot lava.
Okay.
What? Yeah, you played hot lava? I don't know. No. Did your kids play hot lava?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, whatever. Anyway, I grew up on lava. Okay. So anyways, whatever. So the thing is that, maybe if you say, oh, he loved hot lava as a kid, if he puts it anywhere besides the sink, it falls in lava. I don't know. You think of something crazy because when you're brainstorming, all kinds of crazy ideas come out and you come up with something funny like this. So then you share it with them and say, you try it. Then you do trial and error with this. Okay. So you say, listen, we're going to play hot lava game. He's going to look at you like you're crazy. Hot lava is if your dish can either be on the placemat or it can be in the sink. It can't be anywhere else. And if it's left in the sink, then the placemat turns to hot lava 10 minutes after dinner. I don't know. These are really silly examples, but I'm just saying these are the kinds of things that tend to work is these outside of the box crazy things. There's no emotion there. He's like, you're playing a game with him, Again, for doing the dishes, you may just say, forget it. He works hard. He tries to be with the kids. I'm just doing his dishes. It's not worth the thing. But again, if this is pick your battles. And this is one of the battles that's really resentment bothers you and troubles you, whatever, and you want to solve it. Get creative, like I'm saying. Plan ahead in what you think will work. And you can even say to him, you could say, oh, I thought of this hot lava game or whatever. And he said, that is really dumb. Then you could say, listen, I really brainstormed trying to figure out how to solve this. It is important to me. If it is important to me. Do you have a suggestion? And just take the problem and put it in his lap and see if you can figure it out that way. I wish you luck on this. I'm very proud of you for having been able to forgive and let go to the extent that you already have. And now I'm just giving you like how to bring it to the next level. And I wish you a lot of luck with it. Good job. Great question. Okay. Gila, what you got for me?
We have time for one more question. And Shoshana's asking, I'm still hung up on the idea of fairness in my marriage, even though I've listened to all your classes about how there's no such thing as fairness and equality in a marriage. Because of this, I just get so easily resentful. How can I get over this ridiculous idea?
Good luck with that. Let me know when you no. That's a tough question. I'll tell you what our mission here is at the Ladies Talk Show. Okay. I didn't put her up to this question, but I'm telling you right now, we are trying to shift an equality-based marriage, which for the last 50, 60, 70 years has been the driving force. An equality-based marriage. Ladies, it's a massive fail. It's a fail. We're trying to go from a equality-based marriage, which does not work, to a Torah-based marriage, which has a 3,000-year-old track record of success. It's bulletproof and it works. Okay, bulletproof. So that's what we're trying to shift. You are caught up in the whole thing. We were all raised that way with equality is the king, So to shift overnight from one direction to the other ain't so easy. So don't be hard on yourself for thinking that way and for having the resentments and for feeling like that's how it should be, because that's what we're led to believe our entire life. And that's what our expectations are. So it's a hard transition. If there was nothing in it for you and you were just doing it out of the goodness of your heart or because that's the right thing to do and you should do it, that's very hard. But if you were to recognize how much is in it for you and how the glory of closeness and satisfaction and feeling like you're doing the right thing and having the bonus of your husband cleaving to you and having the bonus of feeling like Hashem is showering bracha into your home, which he is when you're working, when you're going after shalom bayis, bracha pours into the house. When you're going after equality, bracha runs from the house. So you will find just making that tradition, there is so much in it for you that hopefully over time, as you open your eyes to how much bracha is coming in because you're shifting towards a Torah-based marriage, it will, Emirat Hashem, give you the koyach to continue in that road. We're all in this together. We're all fighting the equality mindset that we've had our whole life. Before we were born into this equality mindset. Once we recognize how bankrupt it is and how the divorce rate and it's a disaster, then it gives us motivation to go with a Torah-based marriage. And bit by bit, slowly but surely, we get to a place where we realize that following the Torah way, even though it's quote unquote how we should do it, brings us the closeness and the connection with our husband that we've always wanted. Okay, it's Leah Richheimer for the Ladies Talk Show. Thank you. Oh, wait, homework. Wait 1 second. One time this week, when you get filled with the thing of, because this happens to all of us, like, oh, it's not fair. I cooked the meal, I did this, and now he left the room, and whatever. And we're all into this. Things need to be equal. Freeze and just think about it. Think, would I rather have equality or would I rather have bracha? Would I rather have blessing? Just think about that. So one time you're just doing a thought change. This is no action you need to take. It's just a thought thing. When you're fighting for equality or thinking you should fight for equality, have the thought, would I rather have equality or bracha? Okay, that's the homework. This is Leah Richheimer for the Ladies Talk Show. We'll see you next time.